Last week it was literally Thursday. It was 60.
Yep.
I wore shorts.
Welcome. live from snowy OSF. It's the Battle of the Bricks Winner Take All Edition. It's the 10-13 Ohio Bobcats and the visiting 13-8 Miami Redhawks. Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast booth. My name is Cedric Granger, and I'm joined by Carl Blaylock. And Carl, yesterday you got to see game one between these two teams, and it did not disappoint with the Cats taking the first game 4-2. And then in the second game, Miami got revenge, winning 7-6. Now here we are, game number 3. What do each of these teams need to do to get the victory?
Well, for both these teams, in the first game, it was really – the first inning was rough for both of these pitchers, and then they settled in after that. Miami got 2 runs across to Skip Miller in the first game. She starts this game, but after the first inning, Skip really settled in, and she really only had 2 more stressful innings the rest of that game. Aside from that, it was 1, 2, 3 the rest of the way. We'll have to see if she can continue that today.
So Skip Miller will be in the circle for the Bobcats. Skip Miller, one of the younger pitchers in this staff, but she is very talented. The sophomore from Bradford, Ohio, a righty who has a 2.89 ERA. That's something to brag about, and is 4-6 on the season, as she'll go against Carly Spade, who will be leading off for the Miami Redhawks. As the first pitch is up in the air. It's a pop fly that's going to be going back and does drop right in front of Yasmin Logan, and it is a leadoff single for Carly Spade. Before I can even announce who's out there in the field for the Bobcats. But behind the dish, it'll be Hoffner. In the infield, it'll be Dahl at first, O'Brien at second, Grind at shortstop, and Wessler at third. And then it will be Keidel, Logan, and Hummel in the outfield for the Bobcats. Now this will bring on Allie Cummins, one of the other lead batters on this team in terms of batting average. She's batting .361 on the season, and she takes the first pitch inside for a ball.
Yesterday, she came up, Miller got a strikeout first at bat yesterday. Then Cummins came up. Second pitch she saw, she sent way past the center field fence. Ohio hoping she can't do it again today.
The second pitch, and that time it is in for a strike. So 1-1 to Allie Cummins, who's batting second for this Red Hawk squad. Holly Blaska is on deck, and Riley Coyne is in the hole for this Miami team that is looking to win 2 straight against the Bobcats. It's the third pitch there. The 1-1 is in, or just a little bit outside, kind of hitting the edge of the strike zone for strike number 2. It's 1-2 to Allie Cummins.
She came in really hot. The Lakota West native had a home run in both games yesterday, 3 for 4 yesterday.
And now that pitch is outside. Good discipline by Cummins not to swing at that one, as now the count is evened up 2-2 for Allie Cummins, who's batting 4 for 7 in this series. Looking to close it off strong and give Miami the win in this series. Each team trying to start off MAC play the right way, as it's a pop fly, or it's a drive out into center field, going back towards the wall, and it is gone again.
That's the same spot she put it yesterday in the second at-bat of game 1 against Miller.
Wow, could not believe that one. That one flew and kept going. I know the winds are quite high here today, as during the PA announcement earlier, the paper that our PA announcer was reading off of went flying, and it kept going and going out to center field. And right there, Allie Cummins starting the game off hot for the Redhawks. They're up 2-0.
3 straight games she's had a home run in now. Up to, I believe she's up to 9 on the year.
And the trend sort of continues, too, where Miami has been able to get off to a 2-0 lead, and not 1, not 2, but all 3 games now of the series, as Holly Blaska is up. Skip Miller checks. And the 1-0 pitch fouled back, and that'll even it up at 1-1. Carly Spade and Allie Cummins both came in off of that home run shot by Cummins. Both of the hits have gone into center field. Temperatures to start very, very cold, just above the real feel requirement as there's a swing and a miss there, and that's strike number 2.
Yeah, flurries flying all around Athens at the moment.
So Skip Miller trying to pick up out number 1. Nobody on for the Red Hawks here on a nice Saturday afternoon. And the swing and a miss for strike number 3. So Blaska goes down on strikes as Skip Miller picks up her first strikeout of the day. And that's a good way to bounce back.
Absolutely, and she did the same thing. She did the same thing yesterday. Yesterday, Miami was able to string together a few hits in the first inning, and she was just able to come back out there, calm herself down, get out of the inning, and then she was untouchable for about the next 6.
So in comes the 4th batter in the lineup, Riley Coyne, the catcher, batting .255, and she'll swing and miss on that first pitch for strike number 1. As right now, Riley Coyne, especially in this series, Carl, she has been very effective, including having the game-winning home run in Game 2 of yesterday's matchup.
And that was her second home run of that game, driving in 3 RBIs with a 2-for-4 game. She also had a RBI double in the first inning of Game 1 yesterday against Miller.
And the second pitch will get past Hoffner at catcher, so it'll be 1-1 to Riley Coyne, graduate senior from Chelsea, Alabama. Coyne takes a breath now, goes back up to the plate. Miller gets her signs, collects herself, delivers the pitch, and it's going to be pop fly. That's going to go into foul territory, and it is caught for out number 2 by Dahl, sliding over from her first base position, and that is out number 2 in the top of the first inning. 2-0 lead for the Red Hawks thanks to an Allie Cummins home run over center field, scoring both Cummins and Spade. So in comes Shelby Kunkel, the designated hitter for today. And she comes out swinging as well. That one goes to third base, and the catch is made by Wessler to retire the side. But the Red Hawks, they start off quickly here on this snowy afternoon in Athens. They're up 2-0 going into the bottom of the first. You're listening to Ohio Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to OSF, home of the Ohio Bobcats softball team, as they're taking on the Miami Red Hawks in Game 3 of a pivotal series. In terms of setting the tone in the MAC, each of these teams want to start off with a victory. The Cats, they were able to win the series over Miami last year, and they want to try to do it again. But the Red Hawks, they have other plans, and they showed it in that opening set. The top of the first, 2-0 lead for Miami, and now here in the bottom of the first, the Cats will look to respond just like they did in game number 1, where they were able to put up 4 in the opening inning, and that ultimately was enough, as they'll go against Brianna Pratt, who delivers the first pitch outside and low for ball number 1 to Belle Hummel, the lead-off batter for the Cats.
Something that head coach Jenna Hall talked about when we talked with her leading up to this series. As there's a ball on the outside. She really talked about how her hitters needed to be aggressive and score early in game to give breathing room to the pitchers. And obviously in each of these games, the pitchers given up a run or two in the first inning, but then they've been able to, the Bobcats have been able to come back and keep getting hits.
And Belle Hummel will chop that one over to first base, and Blaska was there to step on the bag for out number 1. So a ground out there for Hummel, and that'll bring up Analia Paoli. She's batting .343 on the year and is definitely one of the top players for this Bobcats team. And especially when she's up there at the plate, you can expect a lot of fire from Analia Paoli, as there's one down in the inning for Brianna Pratt, who will deliver the first pitch, and it'll be low and outside for ball number 1.
They get that a strike, actually.
They did? Wow.
Yeah, caught just the outside of the plate there.
So it'll be 0-1 to Analia Paoli. Brianna Pratt takes her step in the circle, delivers a pitch, and that time it will be a ball. So it's 1-1 as in the field for Miami. Coyne is behind the dish. Blaska, Banks, Barlow, and Spade from first base to third base making up the infield. And then from left field to right field, Golombeski, Kobayashi, and Cummins make up the outfield for the Redhawks. And there's another strike called. It is 1-2 to Analia Paoli. Pratt trying to start off quickly in today's game. Pratt with an ERA of 4.48, and she had the loss in Game 1 but the win in Game 2. So what will be her legacy for this game? As it'll be a high pop fly. It will stay in the infield, and the catch is made. Impressive catch there by Carly Spade, running up from third base, and was able to track that ball and make the catch over her head for out number 2.
Alexis Daw comes up to the plate, but one interesting thing about Pratt, she pitched in both games yesterday, got the loss in Game 1, the win in Game 2, but between the two games, in the 11 innings pitched that she pitched, she had 16 strikeouts, 9 in Game 1, 5 in Game 2.
Now she'll face off against Alexis Daw. It's been one of the more consistent hitters for this Bobcats team, batting .352 on the season in Game 1 and Game 2. Did fairly well, was 3-4-6, and had a run in game number 1. So the 1-0. And just missing the plate there. It seemed like it almost went over, one of those 50-50 calls, and it goes in favor of the Bobcats.
A good job by Daw to really lay off on that pitch, because it was right there. That's certainly something that once Pratt gets into a 2-strike count, I'm sure she might go back to that pitch.
Here comes the 2-0 from Pratt, and that one is inside, and now it's a 3-0 count. Really good hitters count here for Alexis Dahl. Let's see what the senior from Valley Springs, California will do here. Won't see weather like this in California. The 3-0 outside, and that's a 4-pitch walk. So Alexis Dahl, the first batter to get on for the Bobcats. Down 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Carly Spade and Allie Cummins getting the runs for Miami. Cummins had a home run over center field to drive in Spade. And now we are up to Emma Hoffner, the catcher. Another player on this team really off to a strong start as the first pitch is taken for a ball. So now that is 5 in a row there for Pratt.
She's hearing it from the dugout, but Hoffner, you don't want to give too good of a pitch to Hoffner here, though. She was 4 for 6 yesterday, including having 3 RBIs.
And the second pitch now in there for a strike, breaking the little streak there. 5 straight balls, now a strike to get back on target. Pratt trying to get out of the inning with 1 runner on. That's Alexis Dahl at first base. The 1-1 missing the strike zone just outside. And now it is 2-1 to Emma Hoffner, sophomore from New Stanton, Pennsylvania. Also has a sister that plays softball at Mercyhurst up in Erie, Pennsylvania. So now there's going to be a little bit of a meeting here between Coyne and Pratt. As Pratt, she's had to deliver a lot of pitches throughout this series. I mean, you do have a decent pitching staff with Miami with a lot of different pitchers that they could use. They have 3, so not the most, but not a bad amount as well. But she's really had to be the bell cow of this group, and she has been strong throughout her starts. And trying to finish it off here in the snow in a 7-inning affair where her squad has the lead. 2-1. Fouled backwards and back towards almost the river. And this will make it a 2-2 count. Pratt with an opportunity to get out of the inning.
Definitely going to look for one there. This is where the Bobcats have did all their damage in game one, the game that Pratt started yesterday.
So the graduate senior from Perrysburg, Ohio, sets up, delivers the pitch, and it is taken for a strike three. Caught her looking, and that's going to end the first inning and retire the side. So the Redhawks yield nothing as they lead, as they grab the bats. You're listening to Ohio Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to OSF for the Battle of the Bricks as the Miami Redhawks lead 2-0, and they'll try to add on to this lead in the top of the second inning, as it'll be Jenna Golembeski, Adriana Barlow, and Kate Kobayashi who are due up in the inning. The 7th, 8, and 9, or 6, 7, 8 actually, in the lineup on a very cold afternoon in Athens, Ohio, where there are snow flurries falling all around. It's about 38 degrees at first pitch, and it's going to just keep getting colder and windier. But not too cold for these players, as the first pitch is a swing and a miss there from Golembeski, the sophomore from Woodstock, Illinois, and she's batting .296 on the season. Another solid part of this lineup for the Redhawks.
She had 2 hits yesterday, one in game one and then a home run in game two.
Home runs were aplenty yesterday, as the 0-1 pitch is going to be a drive right into the middle of the field. It splits shortstop and second base and gets out into the outfield. And that is another lead-off single. Make it back-to-back innings with a lead-off single. This time, Golembeski picking it up.
And what it might be a little bit of something with Skip Miller here on the mound is the fact that, you know, they've already seen Skip yesterday. I'm sure they looked back at some of the film and they looked and saw, all right, this is what she does. They analyzed how she uses her pitches. As that one's fouled back, they've looked at how she uses her pitches, what situation she does each of them in, and they're using that to really tone in on what they can do. And they've really been attacking that so far. And so far, Miller already giving up 3 hits in the first 6 batters that she's faced.
A great observation there, as it is a very adaptive game as Miller delivers the pitch up high for a ball. So it's 1-1 to Adriana Barlow. Barlow, 4 of her last 14 at the plate coming into this series, and she is 1 for 6 overall in this series. And the 1-1 up high. So that is now 2 balls, 1 strike to Barlow.
Golembeski's taking a really, she's got about a 5-6 step lead off of first base. Each pitch of this at bat. I wonder if we might see Hoffner flick throw over there.
And the 2-1 taken low. So now it is 3-1. Good hitters count here for Adriana Barlow, graduate senior from St. Louis, Missouri. And, of course, with the extra COVID year, you get a lot of graduate students being able to stay for that extra year. And she's one of those cases that she's going to line it out over to first base. Dahl has a little trouble with it at first, but able to get on the bag for out number 1. However, Jenna Golombeski does advance over to second base, but Adriana Barlow will be out. So that'll bring on Kate Kobayashi, the center fielder. 319 average on the season and works with 1 runner on and 1 out as the first pitch will be inside, just missing. Kobayashi herself, and that is going to make it 1-0.
Kobayashi's, her average on the season coming in was 319, but she's been kind of cooling off over the last few games.
And now the second pitch outside, so now it's 2-0 to Kate Kobayashi.
She was 2 for 12 over the plate in the last 5 games coming into the series. Only played in game 1 yesterday where she hit 0 for 2.
Yep, Kobayashi, a Virginia Tech transfer, went with Coach Kiran Kumar when she made her transition as their strike number 1. The count is 2-1 to Kobayashi, the 8th batter in this lineup. And Golombeski awaits at second base. Miller delivers, and this big swing and miss there for strike number 2. Good pitch by Miller.
Absolutely was, and it was one of those that looked like it was originally going to be a little bit inside, kind of worked its way a little bit closer to the middle of the plate and got Kobayashi thinking she needed a swing, just a bit too late.
So an even count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Miller delivers up high, so now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 runner on, 1 out. Scoreboard reads 3-2-1. It's a countdown. So Miller sets up, delivers the payoff pitch, and it is a walk.
I think it might have actually hit her. They got a dead ball on it, so it might have just
clipped
off
her a little
arm.
bit.
Honestly, might have lucked out for the Bobcats. Otherwise, Golombowski was going to be able to move over to third on that. So I think we're going to get a little bit of a meeting here on the mound.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be checking sort of gear, it seems like. As of course, with it being cold, we do have a lot of warm weather gear out here as well, but it looks like the umpire called out Coach Jenna Hall to the circle. So they'll confer there, as right now they're 2 runners on, so Ohio kind of working themselves now into a little bit of a jam here. So they have Golombeski on second and Kobayashi on first in a 2-0 ball game. Top of the second inning as it's getting cold and windy. And it looks like the coaches are going back. And Miller back in the circle, talking with their infield a little bit as the outfielders go back into their positions. And we do not know anything yet about what's going down on the field, but we will keep you updated as we find out info. So going into this game, Ohio and Miami both sitting 1-1 in conference play, as the winner of this will move up to the top of the standings just by default, as there's only half the teams really getting into MAC play. Toledo and Bowling Green, that's a series that's going on. It's 2-0 in terms of the record, 2-0. Toledo has won both of the first games against Bowling Green, a little rivalry up there northwest. Your neck of the woods, Carl, a little bit.
Absolutely. They're only 20 miles away from those campuses.
So a little bunt that's going to go in, trying to make the throw to first, and it is a good pitch there, a good pass, and it ends up being Miami coming through there. As let me restate that, as Miami coming up very quickly, being able to cross the plate and picking up the run. So Golombeski comes across on the bunt. The throw there from Spade trying to go to Belaska. Belaska ends up making a nice dive to be able to have
O'Brien actually was there, and O'Brien saved a few runs because that throw looked like it was going to go down the line. Good job by O'Brien, able to grab it but not able to keep her foot on the bag.
Yeah, so that was a run for Golombeski, so now it's a 3-0 lead for the Cats. As coming up here are for the Red Hawks, as Carly Spade is now back up to the lead off batter for the Red Hawks.
Banks steals a base here. She had a stolen base in yesterday's game too as well.
So Skip Miller now in a pretty big jam here with 1 out, delivers the pitch up high. And there's a swing there, so strike number 1 to Spade. The last time she was up, she singled into center field, was able to just get it over the infield and right in front of the center field. So the Cats have made some changes in their rotation here. It's Dahl at, nope, not at all, actually. So it is 2-1.
Infield's in here, trying to avoid another bunt, but Spade's certainly going to be swinging away.
Why not with a 1-out situation? Runner on second, runner on third. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Skip Miller delivers, and it's going to be a drive out in the left field. There's the tag, and will she make it home? Yes, she does. That is Kobayashi coming in, a sac fly for Carly Spade. And Banks will stay at second, but now it is 4-0 Miami, quickly with the lead as they have doubled up their lead in this inning.
Yeah, it was a good job there hitting the cutoff person by Hummel there. Got it to Wessler.
And now we'll have another conference here with Skip Miller. And we potentially could see a pitching change.
I think it's just to calm down Miller at this point. You know, as we talked about last inning where, you know, this is the second time that Miami's seen her this series, and they're starting to figure her out. So it's kind of just calming down and, you know, kind of out there talking with your coach and going, all right, you know, what can you do a little bit differently? What can you change up that they haven't seen yet? You know, throw that at them. Try different sequences. See what you can do with that.
So in comes Allie Cummins. The last time she was up, it was a home run to center field. And she'll work with 1 runner on. That's Maddie Banks at second. Can Skip Miller bounce back? She's got 2 down in the inning. As she'll set up at the circle, deliver the first pitch outside. No swing there from Cummins. Good discipline. 1-0 as the score is 4-0. Jenna Golembeski came in as well as Kate Kobayashi in this inning.
One thing that Miller did well facing Cummins yesterday in game 1 after that home run, she got out twice and then gave up a walk to her in the 7th inning, but she really calmed down and didn't allow any pitches that Cummins could have seen to go out yard again.
So as the snow continues to fall, Miller delivers the pitch, and it is low. So another ball. The Red Hawks try to get another runner on, continue to add to this lead, as they have had a couple of games this year where they have been able to put up a lot of runs, including 11 against California, 8 against Butler, as well to run rule that game as the pitch 3-0 is outside, so another walk. This will bring Cummins to first. And now we have 2 runners on and a situation for Holly Blaska, who struck out the last time she was up.
She did, struck out swinging, and that was really something to calm down Miller after giving up the 2-run homer. She's going to have another calming at-bat here, able to get out of this jam with runners on first and second and 2 runs already on the board this inning.
Miller steps up into the circle, delivers the first pitch, and it's a drive out in the center field, and hasta la vista.
Over the scoreboard.
A 3-run homer for the Miami Red Hawks, and they're pouring it on. So Blaska hits that one all the way out to Alaska, and that's how we are at a 7-0 ball game. 2 outs. And here comes Riley Coyne.
Yeah, it's the second straight game for Blaska with a home run. She had one yesterday as well. That's her 4th of the year. And, it just was one that was left a little bit over the plate too much, and Blasco was able to square that one up perfectly. I mean, that would look it went on an absolute line. You could follow it straight, absolute line, all the way out past the scoreboard into the parking lot.
The first pitch there to Coyne is taken for a ball. As the runners all coming in, Maddie Banks, Allie Cummins, and Holly Blaska. That is now 5 hits for Miami, 2 home runs, and it's just the top of the second inning. The 1-0 drive into foul territory. That'll be strike number 1, even in the count at 1-1. Snowy, windy day. Snow projected to turn into rain potentially depending on how the temperatures fluctuate, but we're staying at flurries. Coyne gets the sign. Miller with the pitch. And a swing and a miss there. Strike number 2. Miller with a chance to get out of the inning. Nobody on. And can she take down Riley Coyne? Last time she was up, she ended up having a line out to first base. And the pitch outside. So now it is 2-2. Back even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on for Riley Coyne. 5'10" graduate senior taking on Skip Miller. Delivers a 2-2 pitch, and it's going to be a high pop fly. This one should stay inside the park. It does, and a good catch there from Hummel to retire the side, but not before the Redhawks can put up not 3, not 4, but 5 runs. The Cats will need to bounce back in the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. Welcome back to OSF, where the Bobcats find themselves in trouble against the Miami Redhawks. They trail 7-0 to their rivals. As due up in the inning will be the 5, 6, 7 of this lineup. Will be Cindy Grind, Cece Keido, and Shell B. Wessler. As the Cats have some work to do. They gave up some runs. Can the offense have the defense's back? So we'll take an immaculate comeback. But we've seen it here at OSF before, as the first pitch is taken for a strike. As Chloe and I had the call last year of the Marshall versus Ohio game here at OSF, and the Cats were able to come back from down 7-1 and won 8-7 at the end of the game. So anything can happen. The Cats just got to stay in it, as the 0-1 taken again for strike number 2. Pratt is dealing.
Yeah, she's dealing on that inside part of the plate, and I don't think Grind is expecting anything with that. But Grind's certainly somebody who could warm up the bats for the Bobcats. Has 5 RBIs in the 2 games yesterday.
So here comes the 0-2 pitch. And looks like a drop strike 3. Looks like she just got a tad bit of it. So it'll be fouled off. So remain at 0-2.
Pratt's definitely looked really good so far today, thriving in this cold weather.
For the Redhawks, she delivers the 0-2.
Ooh.
Looks like she fouled it and then it almost hit off of herself there. For Grind, getting to celebrate having her first home run in yesterday's games.
Yeah, 3-run homer in game 2. She's definitely done a great job of battling in the count here, which she does normally. Has 7 walks on the season.
So the 0-2 outside. Oh no, they did call it strike there. Strike number 3 for Grind. She goes down, and that's strikeout number 2. Make it 2 in a row for Pratt, as it'll bring up CC Kaido. Batting for the first time today, batting 179 on the season. What a sophomore from Hilliard.
Was 2 for 3 in game 2 yesterday, so maybe the bat's starting to heat up for CC. There
And
it is.
She's able to line that one down into second base. The throw is in time. Good play by Banks, moving over from right on that line drive, and she was able to get it just in time to Blaska, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, really, really good by Banks to just move a little bit to her left, able to spear the ball with her glove. Once she had that, had enough time, gather herself, grab the ball, throw it over.
So that will bring in Shelby Wessler, takes the first pitch, and she'll put it right over to Banks again. Banks has been busy, and she ends up getting that throw to Blaska and make it back-to-back plays by second base to retire the side. So going into the top of the third, the Cats still trail 7-0. You listen to Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to OSF, where the Redhawks will try to continue growing this lead, and they'll go against a new pitcher as Keegan Moore is into the game, into the circle for the Cats.
Moore looked really good yesterday, came in relief, 3 1/3 innings. Only 1 earned run, as there's a pitch just catching the outside, a strike, and that was a solo shot to Coyne in the top of the 7th. That was really the only mistake she made all day. Only gave up 3 hits, had 4 strikeouts and a walk for the freshman from Ironton, down south, just down the river, about an hour and a half away from here.
So the 0-1 to Kunkel, swung on and missed, as Kunkel, the last time she was up, had a fly out to third base on a pop fly. Kunkel looking to get on base for a Redhawks team that was able to put up 5 runs in inning number 2. As the 0-2 going to foul out, working its way to the Bobcat bullpen, and falls just short there, but 0-2, the count remains to Kunkel. As with Keegan Moore, and anytime you see any players for the Bobcats that are from Southeast Ohio or South Ohio in general. It's always put the smile on their face being able to see local players be able to make it up here to the college ranks. The 0-2. It's going to be popped up. It ain't have a chance out in the center field, and it's gone again.
Balls have just been flying out of the park for the Red Hawks. They had about, 4 home runs in Game 2 yesterday, and now already with 3 in the first 3 innings today.
So Miami now in run rule territory with these 7-inning games. You get to 5 innings, and you're up by 8 or more. That is the end of the game. So now the Cats will have to try to work their way back in, but that will not help, as that's already the 3rd home run, and every single one has been to center field. Shelby Kunkel with that last run. Now coming up is Jenna Golembeski, takes the first pitch for a ball. And right now for the Cats, it just felt like one of those days right now where it's been very cold outside, bad weather, and it's been a bit of a stinker for this team so far today. And now a pop fly goes into left field. Will go into foul territory, but making the catch is the left fielder, Hummel, being able to track that one down in the air, and that's one down.
One thing absolutely, though, that Miami's seeing the balls from Moore very well right now. They're getting very good contact, a lot of heavy contact. That one just a little bit early on it, so it ended up being a pop-up, but these pop-ups even have been going far. I mean, look at a few foul-offs that have ended up almost by the Ohio bullpen all the way down the left field line, plus the home run.
So now Barlow is up.
Ooh.
Oh, here goes all our stuff. It's a windy day. And the first pitch there was outside for a ball, so it is 1-0 to Barlow. You got your score sheet back?
I got my score sheet back.
A very windy day. You can feel it blistery. I have a magnet trying to keep my stuff all down here, as that has been our struggle up here, as the count is 2-0 to Barlow, who grounded out back in the 2nd inning. 1 out, nobody on, and there's a swing and a miss there, as it is 1-1.
The wind is blowing out towards right field, so I'd imagine if we see any pop-outs that fly out towards right field, they might blow away, but blowing a little bit close to foul territory as well, so it might blow the ball a little bit foul. So far, none hit over there at the moment.
She fouls off the 1-1, going backwards for strike number 2. As it's pretty interesting with the wind. It can kind of change the trajectory of the ball as well midair. It looked like earlier on that the Jenna Golembeski's hit there, it seemed like it was going towards foul territory, and it actually jettisoned into the infield there, or to fair territory, I should say. So it's a good job by the outfielders being able to read those. Another ball there. It is 3-2, full count. Payoff pitch coming up here for Barlow. Moore checks her signs, delivers a pitch, and it's going to be lined out into left field, and it is down for a base hit. A single for Adriana Barlow, her first hit of the day, and Miami just continuing to keep it going. It's 1 down in the inning. However, they have another runner on, trying to pour it on their rivals on the road.
Kobayashi up to bat now, and she was hit by a pitch her first at bat, ended up scoring on the I believe she scored on the home run by Blaska.
First pitch outside there from Keegan Moore. Keegan Moore, freshman, is one of the good things for this Cat squad, as they've had a couple more pitchers at it. They only had 2 pitchers really to use for most of the year last year.
Yeah.
And now they're up to 4, so a little bit more depth this year. As the 1-0 there is just taken for a ball a little bit high, just a tad bit.
Yeah,
Close.
Last year all you had on this Bobcat pitching staff, you really only had Kylie Kofeld and Mackenzie Cole, and definitely nice to add a little bit of youth into it.
And another line to left field. Will it stay fair? It does, right in front of the wall. And now that'll be a standing double, keeping it going. Kate Kobayashi will push Adriana Barlow to third base. And now Miami back in a scoring threat, as it just seems like that's been the way that it has been for the pitchers all day. Now feeling the pressure again for the freshman Keegan Moore, and she'll go against Maddie Banks, the ninth batter in this lineup. And with one out, you still have Carly Spade, who is on deck right now warming up too, as it feels like this group is relentless.
The infield's very in here, about both the corner infielders about 5 steps in from each of their bases, as there's a strike on the inside, and even the middle infielders, they're inside the base path right now.
The count is 0-1. Barlow on third, Kobayashi on second, and Banks up as the 0-1 swung on and missed. Was able to deliver that pitch and ended up going low, and she drove Banks high for that miss. Count 0-2 for Moore. Checks her sign. Moore delivers. The 0-2 swung on and missed for strike number 3. First strikeout of the day for Moore.
And that was a nice pitch, and Banks really didn't have a chance there. I think she might kind of made her mind if it was anywhere close, she was going to swing. It was a great pitch by Moore. Started on the outside of the plate, almost ended up in the opposite batter's box, and Banks didn't have a chance. Her arms needed to be about a foot longer to be able to hit that one.
So that's out number 2. That'll bring up Carly Spade. First pitch popped up. Will it land? No, it goes into center field, and it is caught for out number 3. So the Redhawks leave 2 on, but still add 1 run behind Shelby Kunkel's home run to center field. They lead 8-0 going into the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to OSF, where this game has been all Redhawks. Miami leads 8-0, as now the Bobcats are back up to bat. As coming up to bat for the Bobcats today, it'll be Emily Walker coming on into the game. Emily Walker, the junior from Plain City, Ohio. Recently got her first hit back in game number 1 of this series, and she'll take the first pitch low for a ball.
Yeah, and it was a pretty big hit to try to threaten late in that game. Try to force a little bit of a threat. Bobcats weren't able to score in that inning, but definitely a big point that Pratt had to be tested in yesterday, late in that game.
So now the count is 1-1 to Emily Walker. Pratt still in the circle here for Miami, trying to pick up the win and a shutout. And there's strike number 2, as she has retired every batter aside from one that she's faced, only giving up the 1 walk to Alexis Dahl. But other than that, she has been lights out.
Yes, especially with Miami reaching the run rule limit here. I mean, at what point do we start talking perhaps about a no-hitter?
Potentially becomes something to think about as its count is evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch to Walker. The 2-2. And that's low and inside.
No, they
got her. Wow.
On the inside. That's the 3rd strikeout looking for Pratt. Every single one has been looking.
Yeah, really, you hit that one. That looked like it was right on the border of being close to the inside, but she's been working that strike zone masterfully.
She has been, and she's worked the inside of the plate specifically really well. I think pretty much every single one of her strikeouts have been on that inside right there. It's real close to the batter, but it's been something that's been called so far, at least for Miami.
Yeah, she's been reading the what the umpires have been calling pretty well there. As that's already 1 down in the inning. Tori O'Brien trying to get a running start towards first. Swings and misses on that one, so it's 0-1 to O'Brien. Yeah, the way that Pratt has been pitching those ones, that's a really killer pitch to deliver in those 2-strike situations.
Absolutely. O'Brien trying to get a slap hit here. She'll have it bounce off the plate and back.
So that'll be a foul ball. So strike number 2 for O'Brien. Tori O'Brien batting .214 on the season for the junior from Mason, Ohio.
If she can get on base, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jenna Hall possibly have a run. Only has 2 stolen bases on the year, but has a school record for that back at Mason with 31 in a season.
Here comes the 0-2. And she will survive still with that ball 1-2.
That was a very, very close pitch. I think the entirety of the infield thought that was going to be a strike just a tiny bit outside there, though.
Yeah, trying to work that. Usually that pitch would be on the inside of most righty batters, but this time it's the outside of a lefty batter. That's the 1-2. And once again, hugging that plate, surviving is Tori O'Brien. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It was the same exact pitch. She still trying to get that call or trying to get O'Brien to chase. And so far, good plate discipline by O'Brien.
Here we go, the wind gust picking up. Going from left field to right field. The American flag swinging the pitch. There gets a slap hit that'll go out, and it's an error. Banks was there, but unable to get that one off. She was very busy the last inning and makes a mistake there.
Let's see if they give that an error or a hit. It was a tough play for Banks. Had to run in about 4 or 5 steps to try to get her glove down. It was a low liner there. So we'll see what the official score puts that as. But nonetheless, a base runner for the Bobcats. That's always good as they flip it back up to the top of the order.
They needed that, as now we'll see a little liner out into left field. A diving catch is made. What a play there from Golden Besky, able to step up to make that catch to retire Hummel. So they will call it a hit for the Bobcats. So that ends the no-hitter there for Pratt.
Yeah, nice hit. Nice hit for O'Brien there for sure. And, I mean, that was a really tough play from Banks there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much you could do about that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You either kind of let it hop as trying to go down line. Was Paoli. Oh, it's going to be a close play. And, ooh, just by the skin of her teeth, Barlow able to step on the bag right before O'Brien gets there to retire the side. So Miami still gives up nothing. However, Ohio able to get their first hit. But the Redhawks looking to pour it on in the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to windy Athens, Ohio, where we feel more like live weather reporters as opposed to play-by-play broadcasters today, as stuff has been flying everywhere. But one of the things that has been flying has been the Red Hawks today, as they've been hitting home run after home run. They have won each of the innings, and they're up 8-0 here in the top of the fourth inning and freezing cold Athens, Ohio.
Yeah, absolutely. And the batter, Allie Cummins here, she's scored both times she's been up. That's been how many times the Red Hawks have scored, hit a 2-run homer in the first inning and then walked in the second and scored on a Blaska 3-run homer.
So it'll be an 0-1 to Allie Cummins. Keegan Moore, the pitcher for the Bobcats, came in for Skip Miller in relief as a pitch there, a breaking ball, able to fall down there but missing. So it'll be a ball, one strike.
A little bit of a change for the Bobcats defensively, as switching positions is Wessler and Paoli. Paoli now at third base.
We'll see a pop fly, lands it to the infield. Shortstop is there, making the catch is Grind.
Wessler moves into the DP position now. That was a great job by Grind, because this wind, I mean, you'd think Jim Cantori might be out here if we had a little bit more rain. It is a pretty hefty wind. Flags pretty much at full length out down the left field line. So definitely a great job. Any pop fly, especially one as high as that one was, is going to be a tough catch to get for anybody out there.
It certainly will. It's really tough to get those trajectories as Blaska swings and misses there at Moore's first pitch to her. Blaska, we're facing now an 0-1 count. She struck out in the first inning, but she went yard in the second inning.
A 3-run homer, second homer of the weekend. That one's just outside.
Yep, 0-1. So now it's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the fourth inning in a game that's been all Red Hawks. Can they keep the streak alive of home runs in an inning? They had one in the last inning of game number 2, which they won 7-6, and they have one in each of the 3. That one was close to a hit by pitch, but that one just missed. And now the count is 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And for all our fans, respect to all of them that made it out to OSF today. Blankets and jackets and hoodies and hats and scarves all around, as a 2-1 is going to get out behind O'Brien there and into the outfield for a base hit. So Blaska keeping things going there, as the only player with really a chance to make that was O'Brien, but it just missed her.
I think they're going to roll that an error. It was going to roll that an error there, E4, but it just took a funky hop and it kind of ate up O'Brien there. You know, it's a play that you got to make, but, you know, it takes weird kicks off of the dirt, especially one that's taken as much as what this dirt has taken this weekend with the temperature changes, the rain, but it's absolutely still a play you want to be able to make. There's an error, but tough play when it kind of kicks like that, and then O'Brien not able to move the glove in time. A base runner for the Red Hawks as Riley Coyne comes up.
Yep, Coyne with the game-winning home run last game. Now faces an 0-1 count, 1 runner on, and she fouls it off almost right into the Bobcats dugout, but fortunately that fence was there to keep it out of there.
A little bit. Oh, I say a little bit. No, she was very early on that one. That one was, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit 90 degrees like that, but she's kind of trying to find her stride today. So far 0 for 2 on the day after having a really, really hot day yesterday. 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and a home run.
So the 0-2 outside and low for ball number 1.
Or scratch that, excuse me. Going 3 for 8 with 2 home runs and a double yesterday was Coyne.
Looks like something good happened for the Bobcats in baseball. You can also listen to that call with Ethan Sargent and Sam Hyman over there as they take on Central Michigan. As we'll have the 0-2 and fouled off again, staying alive at this at-bat is Riley Coyne.
She's making very good contact. It's really just she's got to get it timed up with more because, I mean, every single at-bat of this every single pitch that she's made contact with, it's been really solid contact. It's been screamers that just has been either very early or very late.
So the graduate senior catcher, keep herself alive in this count, works with one runner on the 0-2. The runner goes, and the throw is not in time. The runner is safe. Being able to make it is Blaska coming up with the steal. And for Miami, the good news too, Coyne keeping herself alive as the pitch was a ball. So the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Blaska's second stolen base of the weekend. Just got a good jump there. And now it's a runner in scoring position.
So 2-2. Hops across the ground and is low. So now the count is full. Payoff pitch coming. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Coyne, normally she's not worked the count very well. Came into the weekend with 16 strikeouts. Definitely, if Moore's able to put a good pitch there and Coyne's not able to make contact, definitely could be a strikeout.
And she fouls that one off. Great contact. Ooh, that almost hit somebody's car. Very close. But fortunately, no cars hit.
I mean, that's great contact, and part of that is the wind carrying that as well. But you know, that's still if she was able to get the swing, if she was able to get the timing right, that's probably into the trees out in right field.
Well, by keeping herself alive, she keeps giving herself chances to get it timed just right. As we'll see another payoff pitch coming from Keegan Moore, the freshman. And another foul ball. That seems like one that's like the same as the second pitch.
Exactly.
To Coyne there, being able to see the ball well and fouling it off a little early there.
I think Moore's doing what this shows is Moore's doing a good job of kind of changing up her speeds a little bit. She's throwing the same pitches, but they're not quite at the same speed, and that's throwing off Coyne, especially since she's seeing it so well. She can't guess she can't guess what speed it's going to be at, but that one just getting a little bit away, and that's a really good job by Coyne. I mean, you'd expect it out of a graduate senior to be able to work the count like she did.
So Coyne will get to first base. Blaska to second base, off the stolen base she had earlier. She reached originally on an error. And now that'll bring up Shelby Kunkel. And you got to watch out. She had a home run the last time she was up, as the first pitch to her is up high for a ball. So the count is 1-0 to Kunkel, who is 1 for 2 on the day overall. Her other time up was back in the first inning, where she flied out to third base. So the 1-0 to Kunkel inside. So 2 balls, no strikes, with a runner on second, runner on first. The Redhawks looking to try to put up double digits against the Cats. (2-0) line drive into left field, and it's down for a base hit. Coming around is Blaska. Blaska's across, and Coyne makes it to third. It's a standing RBI double for Kunkel.
And that was just a really good hit just down the line. I think the wind helped it a little bit stay fair, but, I mean, that was just one where it just right down the line. Really good shot there by Kunkel.
Yeah, it has been a struggle for Ohio today, as Miami showing off why they are one of the best teams in the MAC. Each of these two teams were tournament teams last year in terms of making the MAC tournament. Miami, they did win the Mid-American Conference tournament, and this has been something where winning the MAC, according to Coach Kieran Kumar, this is an expectation for the Redhawks, and they made it to the Blacksburg Super Regional last year, where they went and faced off against Coach Kumar's former team, and they were able to get one win in the Super Regional before falling in that first round. And this year, Miami, they've really challenged themselves. They have a pretty strong strength of schedule with teams like Western Kentucky that they've gotten to play, California, Stanford, and of course coming up, the big one against Oklahoma.
I think we got a stoppage here so they can grab hand warmers. It's gotten very chilly.
Yes, it has. I think the temperature, it was projected to drop off at least 9 degrees from when we started around the 40-degree, 38-degree mark, and now it's supposed to end in probably the 30, 31. And with that wind chill going too as well, it's bound to just keep getting colder.
We're also going to have a pitching change as Ellie Green's, the sophomore, is going to come in and get some time here to pitch.
So third pitcher that we will see today from Ohio. So here comes Ellie Green to start warming up. Ellie Green, the sophomore righty from Attica, Michigan.
Do like the, I don't know if this is her warm-up song or just something that they decided to play, but if it's her warm-up song, I do like the taste in music. Some Devil Went Down to Georgia, Charlie Daniels Band, but I don't think, well, with this weather, I think everything warm's gone down to Georgia, but For Green on the season, she's only pitched an inning and a third, 3 walks, 3 hits given up, 0-1 in that, but not too bad.
No, not at all. And talk about a situation where you're going to have nothing to lose here. Transfer from Jackson College. You get opportunity. You're down by a lot, so you just get to kind of come in, and you're getting to practice a jam, a live situation where you're going to have runners on second and third. And as she continues to grow as a pitcher here at Ohio University, this is a situation you will probably get yourself into from time to time. So having some good in-game practice against a very talented team will help as we're getting ready for the game to get back up and going. It's Golembeski, and she has scored today.
Another thing that Ellie Green gives to the Bobcats, and that Miami hasn't seen her yet this series. This is the first pitcher that Miami's seen today that they haven't already seen. They already saw Skip Miller in Game 1 yesterday and Keegan Moore in Game 2. So it's a different look, and it might slow down Miami's bats a little bit.
See if there's any sort of adjustment period with the new pitcher, as the first pitch was a ball. So now the 1-0 coming to Golembeski. And that second pitch up high for ball number 2. As it seems like the snow flurries have slowed down just a tiny bit. So maybe a little break there in terms of the precipitation. As there are 2 runners on, it's Coyne at third, Kunkel at second. The 2-0 is going to be chopped over and into foul territory. That'll be strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out for the Redhawks, who lead 9-0. So they only have 2 runners on the day that haven't scored, as 7 out of their 9 players in their lineup have been able to cross the plate.
And it's been because of the amount of home runs why they've had so many runners score. I mean, they've just had everything's been flying out of the park, and that one, if that would have stayed fair, would have flown out of the park.
Yeah, but the 2-1 not able to clear the fence into the parking lot area, so somebody may be able to go grab that, have a souvenir. But the count is evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Green trying to pick up her first strikeout. So there's 1 out. And 2 runners on. A little bit of a jam as Green sets up, delivers up high on the rise ball.
And I almost wonder, especially on the slower pitches, the wind really picked up when that pitch happened. I almost wonder if the wind kind of can affect the ball a little bit, especially on those slower pitches, those rise balls, because it went the direction of the wind outside.
Yeah, on days like this, it probably could. It's a 3-2 payoff pitch, and it ends up getting past the catcher, Hoffner, and that is ball number 4, a walk. So Golembeski makes it to first base as those bases are loaded. And with 1 out, could be trouble as Adriana Barlow back up, as she has a pretty decent day going for her. 1 for 2, and she had a single in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, I believe, looking at it, every single player for Miami has a hit today.
First pitch high outside for ball number 1.
Yeah, every single player has a hit.
Yep, 9 hits on the dot. Each player with 1. The 1-0 swung on and missed there. So good pitch by Green against Barlow here. And it's great to be able to get to see Ellie Green pitch. It's my first time getting to watch her. I've seen a lot of Kofel, a lot of Miller. But we'll see what the Bobcats have to work with here in the future, as the next pitch in there for a strike as the snow picking back up full speed. As it is a winter wonderland looking like a snow globe in Athens. As the count is 1-2. Green steps up here into the circle, gets her sign. And up high it goes, so the count is 2-2 in this winter wonderland in Athens, Ohio. We know that March brings the craziest weather, and this is the joys of being a Northern softball team.
If you see in the pictures on your screen right now, I'm not sure if you believe me if I told you it was 60 here on Thursday.
2-2. Swung on and missed for strike number 3. Green picks up her first strikeout of the day.
I think the first strikeout of the season as well. And nice pitch there. Able to get Barlow swinging on that one, as that'll bring up Kobayashi.
So another challenge here. Kobayashi was hit by pitch in the second inning and then was able to go all the way across for a run. She was also able to pick up a hit in the third inning as the first pitch to her is outside. No, just being able to hit that outside of the zone for strike number 1. There goes Green now, starting to settle in pretty nicely.
Absolutely, and Kobayashi can definitely hit the stick. I mean, she had a double in the last inning. For Miami, they're hoping her to replicate that. That was inside.
Counts evened up. 1 ball, 1 strike. As the bases are loaded for Miami, so any base hit will score a run. As right now, Coyne trying to get a little bit of a run start towards home plate. She's set up, getting ready to run.
Just in case there's a wild pitch.
And the next pitch delivered in for a strike. So 1 strike away now for Green. Can Green get out of the jam?
And you're seeing her growing just as this continues. She struggled a little bit with the first few pitches, but, you know, since then she's really settled in. You're seeing her grow. Every single pitch, she's learning something.
The 1-2, it's going to be lined out into right field, and it's down for a base hit. There goes Coyne. Kunkel is in as well. And that is 2 runs for the Red Hawks. Their bats have been red hot, even on a cold day like this one.
Yep, 2 RBIs in for Kobayashi.
We welcome you back to OSF as Alexis Dahl is up. She forced a walk in the opening inning the last time she was up, and now deals with a 1-1 count.
Yeah, one of the 2 Bobcats to end up on base today, and I think the most interesting stat out of it, despite Miami up 14-0, the Bobcats and the Red Hawks have the same amount of people left on base, 2.
The 1-1, she ends up getting a good look at that, fouling it off towards the Miami dugout, and that'll make it a 1-2 count. As one thing that's been really eye-opening with this game, Ohio just getting a couple of their batters their 2nd time around the order. Miami working on their 4th time around the order. And the Red Hawks, for a team that wants to be a team that's known on the national stage, winning games like this in this way in the conference and making it emphatic like this can definitely leave a mark, as the pitch is a outside pitch there for another ball, so it's 2-2.
Especially considering this isn't just any team in the MAC. This is a team that was picked 3rd to finish 3rd in the MAC. This is a team that's expected to go and be in the MAC tournament later in the year, and it's a complete blowout today.
The 2-2 to Dahl. Oh, tried to go inside. We've seen Pratt try to make that pitch there, working inside to try to get those calls, but she doesn't get it there, so it is a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As now you're getting to see a little bit of sun.
Yeah, despite it looking warm, it still is not too warm, but still nice to see a little bit of sun. Ooh,
and a liner out down the 3rd base line. It is down for a base hit. So the Cats able to pick up another runner on base. And that's hit number 2 for the Cats today, and Dahl's first. So she's rocking the 100% on base percentage today. And that'll bring on Emma Hoffner. For Hoffner, last time she was up, she struck out looking.
I think Coach Kumar wanted to see if that was a foul ball or not. Ruled fair. It was Spade had a really nice play to try to grab it. Was unable to grab it, but It was right on the bag. It hit her right over the bag. And so as soon as it touches something in fair territory, as long as it's in fair territory when it touches something, which it was right over the bag when Spade tried to grab it, it's a fair ball.
So Hoffner with one runner on. She'll take the first pitch. And, just hitting the top of that strike zone. Good work on the rise ball there from Pratt. Delivers the 0-1, and it'll go right down Main Street as now make it back-to-back hits for the Bobcats. Do they got a rally starting to brew a little bit? Sun coming out. Maybe warming up the players quite a bit as the bats starting to grow a little bit hotter for the Bobcats. So Dahl is on second. Hoffner with the single is now on first, and that'll bring up Sydney Grind.
Casey Branch will pinch hit for.
Pinch hitter.
Yep, Casey Branch, the senior, also from California, Villa Park. Batting 167 on the season. Also got a pinch hit. Also got the pinch hit in Game 2 yesterday. 0 for 1 on that.
So Branch, the senior, get an opportunity to go against Pratt. Coming in a pretty good position here too. Nobody out, 2 runners on. And there's been some pretty good fortune for pinch hitters today. If we look at the Miami side, Maggie Murphy came in as a pinch hitter. And she was dominant, already picking up a home run. We'll see if that luck will extend to Casey Branch. So she's coming in for Sydney Grind, who will finish her day with a strikeout.
And just one strikeout. That's been how dominant Pratt's been. This is the first time the Bobcats have been able to string together any hits.
So Pratt sets up, delivers, and just being able to come out swinging. There's Branch working it to right field. Runner coming home. The throw is off the mark, not in time. And Dahl comes in. An RBI for Casey Branch, and the Cats are on the board.
Yeah, great play by Branch. Just able to step right into the box, found the gap on the right side of the infield. Able to get the hit and an RBI.
So with that hit, Hoffner makes it over to third. Dahl drives in, and Casey Branch able to pick up the RBI single as we have Lauren Uhas warming up as well. She'll come in for Cece Kaido as a pinch hitter for the Bobcats. And that little streak of pinch hitters doing well, continuing here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cats trailing 14-1. If they want to try to get this game and try to continue it onwards, they need to get to that magic number of 7 runs to keep the deficit under 8.
Yeah, and definitely, I'm sure right now you're just talking to Pratt and just going, hey, don't let your foot off the gas here. Keep it going. Don't have to shut out anymore, but you still want to be able to finish out strong and have a good complete game, even if that complete game is just 5 innings.
So Lauren Uhas, who made 38 starts last season, up to a slower start this year. His last time being able to start was the game against Duke earlier this season, but she had a lot of great experience last year, and seeing her back in the lineup has got to be good news for the Bobcats. Pinch hitter from West Mifflin, PA, will take the first pitch outside for ball number 1 as, just when we thought there was sun, here comes the snow flurries again.
You got to love Ohio weather.
Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio, as the song says. As with 2 runners on, 1 runner on third, 1 runner on first, Uhas will foul off the 1-0 pitch back into the net, and it is 1 ball, 1 strike with Branch on first and Hoffner awaiting on third.
I think the one great thing about the pinch hitters being able to come in and get some good at-bats here is, it means you have anybody. You could have any situation. Whoa, that pitch way outside.
High pitch there, 2-1, as it looks like actually there's a pinch runner. And Grind actually going back in for Branch as the pinch runner at first base.
But, it means that you have pretty much anybody you can bring in off your bench and get a pinch hit for you in any situation, and that is indisposable.
So check swing missed there for Lauren Uhas for a strike. So the count is evened up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on. Bottom of the 4th inning. Cats already have put away 1 this inning with a home run, or with a RBI single, I should say, by Branch, as the 2-2 is missing right there by Pratt. So now we're going to see a payoff pitch coming up.
I think most interesting thing, still no outs in this inning as well. Bobcats, perhaps they can make a bit of a rally out of this.
Why not? Don't stop believing. It is a rivalry game. The payoff pitch up high, and that is a walk for Lauren Uhas. And now a little bit of trouble for Pratt. Bases are loaded. And here comes another pinch hitter for the Bobcats. Coming in is Maddie Wilcox. Maddie Wilcox, sophomore from Grove City, Ohio. And has a sister that was a graduate of Ohio, coming up here in a situation where nobody's out, 3 runners on. Nothing to lose in this situation.
Oh, absolutely so. And I mean, with Wilcox, I mean, she's got a family full of Bobcats. Her sister Kennedy graduated in 2018, and her grandfather, Rich Greger, wrestler for the Bobcats, all the way back in the late 1950s, wrestled from 1958 to 1963 for the Bobcats.
So here comes the snow coming out here into our open broadcast booth. And here comes Wilcox making her way to the plate. And she'll take the first pitch, able to chop it backwards, called foul. That'll be strike number 1 for Wilcox.
Yeah, good job getting a little bit of contact on there. Just a little bit of a foul tip, but nonetheless still enough to where you get a little bit of contact. It's all about the timing there.
So we'll see the 0-1. And that's called a strike right over the plate. Good pitch by Pratt, who's now facing her first major jam of the day. We'll see how she responds. She has been quite stellar up to this inning.
Interested that the middle infielder is still a double play depth as there's a strikeout.
So down goes Wilcox on the strikeout. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for Pratt. And that is out number 1 of ever so important one. And that'll bring on Emily Walker. Last time Emily Walker was up, she struck out in inning number 3. And now she'll take the first pitch there for a ball.
I'm interested in, obviously, you know, it's a 13-run game, so they're not super worried about the run scoring. But, you know, you got the corner infielders playing even with the base and then double play depth. That's one thing for the Bobcats. They've seen a lot of double plays turned. I believe 11 double plays have been turned against the Bobcats, including one by Miami yesterday. Miami has only got 3.
Yep, force outs, of course, at every single base and home plate as well, as the 1-1 swung on and missed there for another strike there. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes coming up here to Walker.
It's definitely something for Pratt here, is kind of getting a little bit of work at, you know, being in. I mean, obviously she's very experienced, a graduate senior, but as that one's fouled off, she's getting a really good opportunity to. She's really getting a very good opportunity to practice, hone her skills on this, hone her skills on getting into jams and getting out of them.
Yeah, because Miami, it's not going to get any easier as MAC play, as well as some out-of-conference foes, will be coming up on the slate, including a game against Notre Dame coming up on the 21st. And the pitch, just above. And they looked, and the umpire went to see if she went, and they see that Walker did not go. So she'll stay alive in the count. 2-2 to Walker. Pratt moves the ball to her right, now delivers the pitch, and swung on and missed for strike number 3. Make it 2 in a row for Pratt.
That's 5 strikeouts on the day for Pratt, as another pinch hitter looking in here, Austin Miller.
Yep, looking like we're getting a good amount of different players getting to get some experience here in the Battle of the Bricks. Miller, part of a state championship team in 2021 for Bradford High School.
Also sister of the Bobcats starting pitcher, Skip Miller.
You always got to love seeing that, as we saw last year, the O'Brien sisters, the Walker sisters, sorry, Tori Walker, Emily Walker, both on the team together.
Got your Tories mixed up.
Yep, I sure did. Two Tories, Tori O'Brien and Tori Walker. But now we do get to see that tradition of sisters being on the Bobcat teams. As the first pitch, outside, has the wind coming in, going from left field to right field just about. The count is 1-0 to Aussie Miller.
She's batting 191 on the season. Does have 9 RBIs, though. 2 doubles.
A chance for some RBIs potential here. Is it's going to be a foul ball? Will it go out? And it will be going into the crowd. Ironically, that is only the first time that that's happened today. We've usually see that a couple of times every single game.
I think it speaks to how well, for Miami, it speaks to how well Pratt's been able to pitch. The Bobcats haven't been able to time up the pitches up until this inning, so.
So do a little bit of a switch of the softball here. We'll get ready to get back into play. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Cats trying to put up some runs, as well as Austin Miller trying to pick up double-digit RBIs on the season. She'll face off against the 1-1 pitch from Pratt. And another strike called there.
Just
as
caught the
now a
outside
chance
of the
to
plate.
get out of the zone. It was bases loaded with nobody out at one point for Pratt. And now she has a chance to escape the jam. Her teammates urge her on a little bit from the infield as well as the outfield. Can Pratt do it? She sets up. She delivers the pitch, and it is fouled off towards the Miami dugout. Fortunately, the fence is there.
It's a good job by Miller. She was a little bit early. It was a little bit of an off-speed pitch. A little bit early on it, but still able to hold off back enough to where she was able to get a little bit of contact and stay alive.
So can Miller stay alive, being able to keep this a very competitive at-bat against Pratt? The pitch, fouled off again. You can tell her timing. She's able to kind of guess the pitches a little bit. However, the speed change, something that can throw a batter off timing-wise just a little bit. But the drama continuing to build as much as it can in a 14-1 game. With this situation here for the Bobcats, trying to add a couple more runs onto the board. Pratt trying to close it out and get out of the jam. She'll deliver the pitch, and it's going to be a popped up into left field, and making the catch there is Golembeski. And for Pratt, she just got out of a jam. It was bases loaded for the Cats and no outs, and she was able to get them out 1, 2, 3, and that retires the side. But the Bobcats able to get 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th, and going into the top of the 5th, the Redhawks trying to close it out and sustain the run rule. You're listening to Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to OSF as the temperatures continue to drop as we are here in the 5th inning between the Bobcats and the Redhawks. And this game has been all Miami. They lead 14-1. And here comes in Allie Cummins, one of the leaders of this team, graduate senior from Westchester, Ohio, Lakota West High School. And she's going to try to help put this game away. As Miami, they do have the run rule right now on. The only way that it will not end after this inning is that the Bobcats can get to 7 runs or within 8 if Miami's able to add on to the lead at all. As the count is 1-0 to Cummins, who's had herself a pretty solid day, has a home run, a walk, and then a fly out.
That one's just a little bit low. But, yeah, she's looked really good. Hit a home run in every single game this series has Cummins. Two ones in the first inning in Game 1 and Game 3. So
here comes the 2-0 pitch from Green, up high, 3-0 to Cummins, trying to work her second walk of the day. And Green, another chance as well here, as the last inning didn't do too bad. Definitely learned a lot from that experience, and there's a strike. So it's 3-1, and it's the only good thing about blowout games is that you usually get to see a lot of the depth come in, and a lot of people get some really valuable experience.
Yeah, I mean, the game pretty much is over. I mean, it's a 13-run game. You got to score 6 runs to stay alive, as that's low. It's going to be a walk, but it's a great opportunity for people to come in, people you wouldn't normally see it. I mean, you look at the last inning for Ohio batting-wise. You were able to have Casey Branch come in, and she got a hit. You know, she got an RBI single. I mean, it's important to see the depth that you have. And so if Casey's called upon later on in the season, maybe in the MAC tournament perhaps, is
Yep, we'll see a line out to second base. They turn 1, and that's what the Bobcats will do. A fielder's choice. Good play there from O'Brien, be able to move out there, and Grine able to step on the bag there at second base, but they weren't able to turn 2. So Cummins goes down on the fielder's choice. Blaska makes it to first, and now that'll bring up Riley Coyne, and Coyne was able to reach for the first time in the 4th inning on a walk, and she was able to get all the way around, and she ended up scoring a run.
To finish the point I was making, you could have possibly Casey Branch. She could step. That's somebody. If she gets a hit there, you can perhaps trust her in the MAC tournament. She can step in. She can pinch hit, maybe get you a big hit in the MAC tournament or in some big games later on in the season. And that just proves when you have a lineup to where you could feel comfortable throwing anyone in that situation, that's a great lineup. It's a great roster.
So the 0-1 skips across the ground low. So the count is evened up 1-1 to Coyne. As top 4 teams in softball in the MAC conference do make the MAC tournament, double elimination style in that tournament as well. The Cats, they did make it last year where they lost to Central Michigan and Bowling Green, I believe. As it'll be a chopper out to shortstop, being able to get it. Isn't in time. No, they're able to get the out at second, but the runner is safe at first. Good hustle there from Grind, being able to just step on the bag at second base to pick off the lead-off runner in Blaska. But Riley Coyne able to make it safely to first off of the fielder's choice situation, make it back-to-back fielder's choices, 2 down in the inning. So here comes Kunkel, the home run and a double on her 2-for-3 afternoon. Chopper gets past the pitcher, gets his way to O'Brien. O'Brien able to get it off to Dahl, and that is out number 3. Best inning defensively for the Bobcats today, as they're able to get 3 outs in just 4 at-bats from the Miami Redhawks. And now the Bobcats will try to find a way to rally to force this game into a 6th inning. You're listening to Bobcat Softball on Ohio Bobcat TV. We welcome you back to OSF and what's been a winter wonderland if you're the Miami Redhawks, and what's been a very snowy blizzard if you're the Bobcats. Miami up 14-1. Miami with 11 hits on the afternoon. Ohio, though, had their best inning of the afternoon in the fourth, and they'll try to keep that momentum going into the fifth. Once again, the Cats will need to score 6 runs in this inning if they want to keep this game going and force a sixth. And in is Reagan Farmer pinch hitting for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Farmer appeared in both games yesterday, 0 for 1 in both of them. Started the first 2 games this season, batting 190 coming into the series. Has an RBI and 2 walks.
And she'll face a 1-0 count of Pratt, who's been solid throughout the entire day, was able to get out of a low bases loaded jam with nobody out. Pretty impressive mark to her day. Very close to a shutout as well. However, that was able to be ended there by Casey Branch in the last inning. This count is 2-0. Farmer swings and misses there. That's the first strike. As the Bobcats coming up, there will be a couple more series, of course, in the MAC as MAC play is just getting underway. They will have Bowling Green coming up the next series, and then they'll have Akron on the road as well. As we'll see the 2-1 there, in for a strike. Now the count is evened up, as well as their next home series being not until April 1st, where they'll match up against the Ball State Cardinals before they take a road trip to Ohio State.
Hopefully that April 1st series a little bit warmer than this one has been.
Chances are it will be, but that's only for game 1. Game 2, it'll probably snow.
It'll be a doubleheader. We'll have the first game start off at like 65, and game 2 will start at about 30 and keep dropping.
Payoff pitch, and Reagan Farmer able to foul it off to keep herself alive. As we gotta love when the MAC team's getting opportunities to face off against Big Ten schools, because a lot of the times they are always within the same region, so it just makes sense to have matchups like that. And it was probably it was the most attended game in OSF history, as it'll be a chopper out to shortstop, delivers it to first base. Good work by Barlow and Blaska to be able to shut the door from that one, and that is 1 down.
Ground out 6-3 is.
And I think my pencil just blew away with the wind.
It might have.
C'est la vie.
Paoli coming up now. She's gotten out both times. Up with a put out to. Oh, that's fair.
Yep, chopped it out over to third base, and down goes Paoli. She's going to second base. She slides in, and she is safe. There was an opportunity there for Banks, but there was no force out at second base, so she ended up stepping on the bag as opposed to going for the tag, and Paoli does go in there. So Paoli able to get her first hit. She had a fielder's choice and then a line out earlier in the game. And now we will go on to Alexis Dahl, who has the lone run on the day for the Bobcats. Also came up with the first hit of the day for the Cats. Check that second hit of the day for the Cats, as the first pitch is taken for a ball. (1-0) outside just slightly, so now it is 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and Paoli is on second base here for the Ohio Bobcats. If we flip gears, Miami, they have some fun series and fun games coming up on their schedule, as well as they will travel to Notre Dame this week, as it's going to be a pass ball. Paoli runs, and she's able to get the third, and she is safe. So now Bobcats with a runner in scoring position. Paoli able to take advantage of the missed pitch there. And we'll see if they score it as a pass ball, wild pitch. Either way, Good for the Cats. And now the pitch to Dahl, and there's the first strike for Pratt.
I'm going to call that a wild pitch.
Paoli reaches on the wild pitch to third base, and here comes the next pitch. And that is a walk there on the 3-1 pitch, getting Dahl to first base. And now the Cats might have something brewing a little bit. They have runners on the corners.
That they have as Enema Hoffner comes up, and she got a single in the last inning. She's been really hot this series. 4 for 6 coming in from yesterday. 3 RBIs, scored 3 times, plus got a walk.
Yep, Hoffner has a single on her day as she fouls off the first pitch. Sitting at 1 for 2 overall and was stranded at third as she had a chance to score potentially in the last inning until Pratt had other plans. So getting set up, Pratt delivers the 0-1 and a big swing and miss there for Hoffner. As we were saying earlier with Miami, they'll have a couple of home series in a row as the next pitch is taken for strike number 3. Another strikeout looking.
Yeah. Bobcats down on their last out.
So it'll all come down to Sydney Grind coming back in. So see what Sydney Grind, the junior, can do. Just has 1 strikeout on the day. And she's going to deliver that one, and just foul as it was going down the third base line. Spade laid out for that one, but it was out of play right before it touched her glove.
Yeah, only by about maybe a foot.
So the count is 0-1. Runners on the corners. Paoli, leadoff runner, there on third. And the next pitch, the 0-1. She did not go. So that is a ball, 1-1 coming up here to Grind.
Coach Kumar emphatically stating her case that should have been a strike on that check swing. I popped out of the dugout going, oh, why wasn't it? I was sitting there demonstrating. That's how far she went.
Bobcats down to the last strike, 1-2. Coming up to Grind. Can Pratt close it out? She delivers the pitch, and it's going to be a line out. Oh, no, the runner has a problem with it, and then able to bring it in for the last out is Blaska. And that ends the game as the Redhawks will have a 14-1 victory on the road. Pretty emphatic, as no matter how cold, no matter how snowy it was, the Redhawks, they came to play. They were red hot, on fire, and they win the series 2-1. Carl, any final thoughts from this Redhawks and Bobcat series and what you got to see 2 out of these 3 games?
Well, obviously, big win. Yesterday, the Bobcats looked really good. Today, I think it just showed Miami's just showing they're flexing their muscle right now. This is a Redhawks team that can play pretty much a lot of teams around the country. I mean, if Miami plays the way that they do today, if they hit this well, even against Oklahoma, they might be able to give them a little bit of a game. I mean, 11 hits, but they had like 5 or 6 home runs on the day. They had a ton of home runs. Every single player got a hit. Every single player on this team got a hit today. 14 runs, 11 hits, no errors. For the Bobcats, 1 hit, 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors. But, I mean, it just an absolutely great job by the Redhawks. And, I mean, that's how good the Redhawks are. They're going to be a team to watch, possibly nationally. We'll have to see how they play with the RPI and some of their non-conference games. But this is a team that, even if they don't win the MAC tournament, they might be able to sneak in as an at-large bid.
Yeah, when they play a tough schedule like this, one of the things Coach Kumar was telling us, we want to be able to get our RPI up. We want to make sure that we're respected nationally, and wins like this will keep Miami in the forefront. And once again, the Redhawks take down the Bobcats 14-1. For Suleiman, our producer, he's Carl Blaylock. I'm Cedric Granger, wishing you a goodbye from freezing cold and windy Athens, Ohio. Your final score today, Redhawks 14, Bobcats 1.